The ballroom lights were too bright, the champagne too cold, and the man in the $1,000 suit was laughing at me. "Tell me, Alex," he sneered, swirling his glass, "what exactly do you do all day while Emily's out there closing million-dollar deals?" I stood there in my off-the-rack blazer, the one I'd worn to my daughter's school play the week before, and felt every eye in the room turn. My wife's cheeks flushed crimson beside me. If you've ever been humiliated in front of the people who sign your spouse's paycheck, hit that like button right now. I promise this one's going to hit home. And if you're new here, subscribe and tap the bell because this story ends with a twist that'll make you cheer out loud. My name is Alex Harper, 42 years old, married 12 years to the love of my life, Emily. We met in college when she was a broke art major and I was a nerdy engineering student who fixed her laptop for free. She still teases me that I charged her in kisses. We built a life on small jokes and smaller savings. Then came Lily, our daughter, born with a heart defect that swallowed our bank account faster than we could fill it. The surgeries, the specialists, the nights I held Emily while she cried into my t-shirt, those were the real tests of our marriage. I'd always been the steady one, the guy who mowed the lawn at 6 a.m. so Emily could sleep in, the guy who packed Lily's lunches with hand-drawn dinosaurs because the cafeteria food made her sick. I worked freelance coding gigs from the kitchen table, piecing together enough to keep the lights on while Emily climbed the corporate ladder. She was brilliant, numbers danced for her the way paint once did. Within 5 years, she was VP of Finance at Apex Global, a logistics giant that moved half the cargo on the eastern seaboard. Her boss, Victor Lang, was the kind of man who wore his arrogance like cologne. 6'3", gym-sculpted with a voice that could slice glass. He'd taken a special dislike to me the first time Emily brought me to an office picnic. I'd shown up in jeans and a hoodie because Lily had a fever and I'd come straight from the pediatrician. Victor had clapped me on the shoulder too hard and said, "So you're the house husband, cute." Tonight was the annual holiday gala at the Grand Meridian Hotel. Crystal chandeliers, string quartet, waiters in white gloves. Emily had begged me to come. "It's just one night, Alex. Victor's bringing his new fiancée, please." I'd put on the blazer, kissed Lily goodbye while she slept, and promised myself I'd smile through whatever came. We were halfway through dessert when Victor cornered us near the chocolate fountain. Emily's team had just landed a contract that would add 8 figures to Apex's bottom line. She was glowing. Victor raised his glass for a toast, then turned to me. "To Emily," he boomed, "the real brains behind this operation. And to Alex, remind me, what is it you do again? Tech support from home." Laughter rippled, someone coughed, "Uber for nerds." My face burned. Emily's hand found mine under the table, squeezing hard enough to bruise. "Actually," I said, voice steady, "I build systems that keep companies like this from hemorrhaging money on inefficient routing." Victor's smile didn't waver. "Adorable, tell me, do you get dental with that?" More laughter, louder. I felt the old shame crawl up my spine, the same shame from the nights I'd counted pennies for Lily's meds while Emily worked late. The shame of being the partner who stayed. Emily tried to steer us away, but Victor wasn't done. He leaned in, whiskey on his breath. "Seriously, Harper, Emily's a star. You must be what?" The anchor dragging her down. The room went quiet. Even the string quartet missed a note. Emily's eyes filled. I opened my mouth, then closed it, because what could I say that wouldn't make her look small for loving me? I excused myself to the balcony. The December air slapped my face. Below, the city sparkled like it didn't know hearts were breaking upstairs. I gripped the railing until my knuckles went white. That's when I heard the footsteps. "Alex," Emily's voice was small. She wrapped her arms around me from behind. "I'm sorry, he's awful, I should've." "You shouldn't have to apologize for him," I turned, cupping her face. "Or for me." "You're not an anchor," she whispered. "You're my harbor." We stood there, foreheads touching, while inside the party swirled on without us. I thought of Lily's latest scan, clear, thank God, and the college fund we'd started with spare change. I thought of the code I'd been writing in secret for 2 years. The kind of code that could change everything. "Em," I said, "there's something I need to tell you." She pulled back, eyes wide. "What?" But before I could answer, the balcony doors burst open. Victor, flanked by 2 board members, stormed out like he owned the night. "Harper," he barked. "Inside, now. The CEO wants a word with the freeloader who's been crashing our gala." Emily's face went pale. The CEO of Apex Global was a recluse. Nobody had seen him in years. Rumor said he ran the company through encrypted emails and proxy votes. Victor grabbed my arm. I shook him off. "Lead the way," I said. The ballroom parted like the Red Sea as we walked. Whispers followed us. Emily clutched my hand. At the head table stood a silver-haired man in a tailored tux, Reginald Pierce, chairman of the board. He looked familiar. "Mr. Harper," he said, voice gravelly but kind. "A moment." Victor smirked. Make it quick, Reggie. Some of us have actual work to do. Reginald ignored him. He extended a hand. Walk with me. We stepped into a private alcove lined with old shipping maps. Emily hovered behind us. Reginald closed the door. Alex, he said, I owe you an apology. I blinked. For what? For letting that pompous ass treat you like garbage in my company, he sighed. I've been watching from afar. The algorithms you sold us anonymously 2 years ago, the ones that cut fuel costs by 28%, they're the reason Apex is profitable again. Emily gasped. I felt the floor tilt. Reginald continued. When I learned the coder was married to my star VP, well, I wanted to meet the man who saved us without asking for credit. Victor's face, visible through the glass, had gone the color of spoiled milk. I don't understand, Emily stammered. Alex, you sold to Apex. I rubbed my neck. I didn't want you to feel pressured or like you owed me anything at work. The money it's been paying Lily's medical bills and the college fund. I was going to tell you tonight. Reginald smiled. There's more. The board voted unanimously this morning. Effective immediately, Victor Lang is relieved of his position. Victor burst through the door. You can't, Reggie, this is insane. He's a nobody. No, Reginald said calmly. He's the majority shareholder. The room spun. Emily gripped my arm to stay upright. Reginald handed me a folder. Inside, stock certificates. My name, 52% of Apex Global. I've been buying shares quietly for months, he explained. Using the profits from your systems, the company belongs to the man who earned it, not the one who yells loudest. Victor lunged for the folder. Security appeared, 2 silent giants who escorted him out while he screamed about lawsuits. The ballroom erupted in chaos, then cheers. Someone started clapping, then everyone. Emily was crying, laughing both. You own the company, she kept saying, like she needed to hear it aloud to believe it. You own the whole company. I pulled her close. We do. Everything I build is for us. Later, when the music started again and the champagne flowed freer, Reginald found me by the dessert table. One more thing, he said, eyes twinkling. The board would like you to consider the CEO position, but only if you want it, no pressure. I looked at Emily, who was dancing with Lily. She'd insisted on FaceTiming from home, pajamas and all, to see Daddy in a tux. I'll think about it, I said, but first I'm taking my family home. We left at midnight. In the cab, Emily laid her head on my shoulder. Remember when we were broke college kids, she asked. And you said you'd marry me if I could fix your laptop and make you laugh. She smiled. You still do both every day. At home, I carried a sleeping Lily to bed. Emily tucked the blanket under her chin, then turned to me. Alex Harper, she said, you are the least anchor-like man I know. You lifted us all. I kissed her forehead. Team efforts. The next morning, the internet exploded. Someone had filmed Victor's meltdown. Office party revenge trended for days. But the video that went truly viral was the one Emily posted, grainy cell phone footage of me on the balcony telling her she was my harbor. Over it she'd written, to the man who stayed, who coded miracles at 2 a.m. while I chased deadlines, who never let pride get in the way of love. This is what quiet strength looks like. It has 47 million views now. So here's the thing, the world will try to measure your worth by your title, your bank account, the shine of your shoes. But the people who love you, they see the nights you stayed up with a sick kid, the code you wrote with one hand while rocking a cradle with the other, the way you hold your partner's dreams like they're made of glass. That's power, that's legacy. If this story reminded you of someone who's been underestimated, maybe even you share it, tag them. And if you're still here, hit subscribe. Because next week, we're talking about the single mom who turned a garage side hustle into a Fortune 500 company while raising triplets. You don't want to miss it. See you then.